and welcome to the Jose Aliega Show. I am the host, Jose, and today I have a special guest, and his name is Troy Coffin. How you doing, Troy?
Hey, Jose, thanks for having me as always.
Thank you, Troy. And about today we're gonna talk about what just happened in Grand Blanc. Very sad news again. A tragic incident. We have this shooter that came to a church, and I know you were very close today. And actually, you were in the where this problem was at the church. Can you tell us? I mean, what happened? What you hear? Because I know you went there. So can you share with us what really happened? I mean, I know the only thing I know is we have a shooter and something so tragic happening in Grand Blanc. But tell us more about this. What happened today at the church?
Yeah, so it happened at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is directly, well, it's on a side road across from the Buffalo Wild Wings and the NCG movie theater in Grand Blanc, right there close to I-75. And so pretty much this morning I went to church myself, and as I got to church, I was about 10 minutes late, and the door was locked. And I was wondering at the time, why is the door locked? Then once I got, someone was nice enough to let me in, and once I got in there, Pastor Forsyth at my church was, made an announcement saying numbers weren't looking good. Something really horrible happened at Grand Blanc, which was just next to Holly where I was at. So then after church got out, I went over to Grand Blanc to pay my respects and to see what was going on. And there was a lot of EMT, a lot of firefighters, police, SWAT, FBI, you name it, all over the place. And I saw smoke in the air, and it's a very tragic scene. There was a lot of emotions.
Troy, early in the first reports on the news show that two people were killed and couple more were severely injured, and several others, obviously. But it's tragic that some people lost their life there. But now I hear the numbers increase. You know the total how many people die in this incident?
Yeah, so earlier I was standing by with a lot of press people, and I was overhearing some stuff. There were rumors speculating among the press crew that people may have been trapped inside the fire, inside the building. I'm hoping that those fears aren't the case. I'm hoping that it's not true, but we have to prepare for the worst in that regard. That there could have been people that didn't make it out of the building that may have passed away in the fire. But then no. So initially they had reported outside that there was one dead on scene, and then the shooter. So the two, including the shooter, and then. Right around, I don't know, I want to say maybe 2:30, I was notified by someone from MLive that an additional person had died in the hospital. And then just now I checked my phone, and according to a site I have here, it says now that 4 are dead. So apparently, more people are passing away in the hospital. There's a lot of people in critical. And I don't know what their conditions are, but I was told earlier today there was around 9 people that were transported to the hospital, and their statuses were unclear, but it was predicted that several of them would be in critical condition. So the fact that a few more of them have died since then is not exactly a shock to anyone in the media.
And do you know what is the name of the shooter and what happened with him?
Yes. The name of the shooter is Thomas Jacob Sanford, and he's a Burton resident, and he's 40 years of age. The motive, they're still trying to gather data on the suspect. We do know he's a Marine. We know he served in Iraq. I don't know. I've heard some people speculating that PTSD is a factor, but I don't want to speculate too much until I don't want to spread false information in this regard.
I think he got arrested, or he got shot by the police at the moment. Do you know?
So thankfully, law enforcement responded in like record time. Um, it was 10:20, like literally within it was 10:25, literally within 40 seconds. A law enforcement officer was on scene. From what someone said today, as I was standing out on site, someone mentioned something about a DNR officer. I don't know if that's true or not, but I was told that it was a DNR officer and then a cop that were both there around the same time that took care of business and took down the shooter. But all I know though is that the shooter was shot and taken out very quickly. Very quickly. We're very fortunate that he wasn't able to kill more people or injure or hurt any more people.
It is sad. I want to ask you. You were actually you've been there. You saw what happened afterwards, and then and you see some of the people that actually survived, and then did you talk to anyone there?
I
Anyone of
talked to
the
a few
people
people.
that were in the church?
I didn't talk to people that were specifically in the church. I talked to someone that had been right by the church when it happened earlier in the day, and he was being interviewed. And then a lady came up to me that was either a close friend or a family member of someone in the church, and she was very emotional, and she came up to me and asked me, do I know where to go to find our loved ones? Do I know where they have that set up? She's like, I thought it was right over here, and I was like, I wouldn't know that information. I'm not the right person to go to. And I told her I was praying for her, and yeah, just a very emotional thing.
I see, Troy. So we don't know the motive yet. The police are investigating. You also mentioned that the FBI was there, right?
Yes, I saw several FBI agents. There were, like I said, there were EMT. I saw some Salvation Army. I saw vehicles, that just there provide moral support. I saw, several firefighters, several blacked out vehicles with tinted windows. I saw SWAT. I saw a bomb squad. I saw a K9 unit. I mean, you name it. I saw virtually every law enforcement vehicle you can think of. But yes, specifically, I saw an FBI lady marching down the street, and she walked right past me.
It's really too sad, and it's too many, incidents that related with shooters and people like that. Is too sad. I think, in my opinion, it seems like it's some mental health issue, but who knows? We need to find out the
Well,
more. But what?
one additional thing I was going to say is, it was 2 miles away from Genesis Hospital. Ascension Genesis was just on the other side of I-75 than this church is located. So fortunately, there is a church close by, or sorry, a hospital. I misspoke there. A hospital close by. There's a hospital close by to the church. And one thing that I was surprised about that kind of shocked me was the fact that there were some nurses out picketing. And from what I was told by some of them was that they had gone and offered to provide assistance and support in light of the tragic situation that took place, and that when they went to try to render aid, they were turned away at the door, which really surprised me and shocked me. So they went back out and picketed some more, but a lot of them did try to do what was right in the time, and I commend them for that.
I see, Troy. I always prefer to talk about good news and bringing, information that is positive. But this is sad for our community. I live in Clarkston, Independence Township, and thankfully we don't have an incident like that. Related to something like what happened today in Grand Blanc. Really sad for the beautiful and nice community like Grand Blanc. Hopefully, there's the last bad incident we here in Michigan. Well, let's see if something we find some news. I would like to do another shop and follow up about this incident in Grand Blanc when they find out the real motive for this.
Yeah, it's been an emotional week in general. I don't know if everyone knows, but on I forgot if it was Friday evening or early Saturday morning. The Putman family, who is well known by a lot of people in the Michigan conservative scene, we lost a few members of that family, and they've done great things for the Michigan Republican Party. I know Billy ran for Michigan GOP chair in 2023 and tragically lost his sister-in-law and his parents, his father Bill Putman, his Bill's wife Barb, and then his sister-in-law Megan were all killed in a tragic crash. And I know there's members of their family that are still in critical condition fighting for their lives right now, so we should also be praying for them as well.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely, and my condolence for the family and for everyone. It's difficult times for sure. Troy, thank you so much for your time, and then please, everyone, don't forget to follow us, to subscribe on our channels, and if you have any comments or any information that you want to share with us about this incident in Grand Blanc, please you put your comment or send us a message. Thank you, Troy, for your time and sharing this sad story. I know you told me how tough and difficult it is for everybody. It's when something like this happens in Michigan, Michiganders are hurt, and
Not an easy
that's
time.
why. Yeah, it's difficult for everybody. Well, thank you, and have a blessed day. Bye bye, everyone.